This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so we need to discuss uh, scripted. Sorry, what did we discuss in the previous class? Can anyone answer my question? So we discussed the scripted calculation, correct? So we are going to discuss procedure and database procedure proxy. Like as part of bottom-up approach, we have already discussed the external view creation. So what was remaining is database procedure proxy. After that, we will go for top-down approach, which is very, very important, AMDP and CDSP. Okay, now let us start the procedure creation. So let me select the package in the content folder. If I select right click new, and if I am trying to create a procedure, see there is an error. Is someone able to read this error? What is this error is talking about? Is someone able to read this error, and may I know what is this error and what is this error is talking about? So if you look at this error is saying creating a new procedure is deprecated in the modeling perspective. Use the repositories or project view in development perspective. So it is saying that procedure creating procedure is deprecated in the model layer perspective. It means procedure cannot be created in the modeling perspective. Use development perspective to create a procedure. But even the message is saying it's not possible here, go there and create. But actually the reason behind this is, if you go to the SAP notes, I shared this document already, but for some people I have to share. I will share mostly today. And if you open the document, one of the documents, see, you can see the document name itself, SAP note, and here, see, is this error and whatever error we are getting, are the same or different? First, see, this is the SAP note, okay? This is the SAP note, which is one of our documents. So the document name is SAP note underscore procedure PDF. So my question for you is this error in this SAP note and the error which we got, are The same or different? This is my question.
Same.
Same, right? Yes, same. So, yes. So here you see creating a new procedure is deprecated in modeler's perspective. Same thing. HANA Studio, yeah, of course. And also, where can we get this error? They are saying in HANA Studio 2.3 plus. From 2.3 versions of HANA Studio, we are getting this error. This is the root cause. This is the reproduce production of issue. We can replicate the issue not only here, in every HANA Studio versions 2.3 onwards. Where can we find our version? Help, about HANA Studio. You can see 2.3.47. So 2.3 onwards, 2.3.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, for all versions, help, about HANA Studio, you will get this error. This is caused by a bug in HANA Studio version 2.3. So why are we getting this error? Because of the bug in HANA Studio version. Then what is the solution? They are saying use older studio of HANA Studio. Use older studio of HANA Studio or Web ID. Web ID we will discuss uh, in the coming days. So use older studio of HANA versions means if you install instead of 2.3 plus 2.2 or lower versions, and you can create a procedure. That is one solution. Or else Eclipse. So we can use Eclipse and we can create a procedure there. But only the problem is in HANA Studio from 2.3 onwards. So the solution is either we use older studio of HANA version or else Eclipse. Then what SAP is saying, as there are no developers working on and there will be no features are delivered for studio. It means that it doesn't mean no developers are working in HANA Studio. What is their meaning is, anyway now the new is top-down approach. Only in the beginning of HANA was a sidecar or secondary database. That time it was used external view and database procedure proxy. But now anyway, we use top-down approach, AMDP and CDS view mainly. That's the reason it is not fixed. But if you want, you can use older version or Web ID or Eclipse. That's the solution they have given. Okay, now what we can do here, the problem is this is a remote desktop. So we cannot install older versions. I think even I asked many times those admins, but they have not done this. And even if I have Eclipse also in my system, in my laptop or desktop, even I have Eclipse, we cannot add these system details outside this network, outside this remote desktop. So, but still we are checking. So what I will do for you, I am going to explain now the procedure and database procedure proxy, because procedure is similar to scripted calculation view. Only one or two slighter differences are there. So I was able to explain this in the earlier batches till 2018 January. Now, after that, this problem came, so we were not able to explain this. So I will send today video for you as well as this previous batch video where it was explained procedure and database procedure proxy. So I will send both the videos today along with today video. So here it is explained both procedure and database procedure proxy. So you can understand very easily because procedure creation is similar to scripted calculation view. Let us see this. I'm opening.
The prerequisite to create external view is
Okay. Here in this video, it is explained also external view and everything is there, but we already know external view and everything. We are not interested that. We are only interested in from procedure creation. Look, here we are at a decision table. We already know, but here even decision table is also there. External view is also, everything is explained here as a recap. So you can find all everything together in this video, but we are interested only the procedure now. See, we are starting a procedure now. We are, before starting procedure, we are selecting some schema and tables. Now we are going to the content folder. In the content folder, we should select the package and we create the procedure. But in our case, we are not able to create the procedure due to HANA version. Now here, see, right click new procedure. We are going to create procedure. From HANA Studio 2.3 onwards, we are not able to create this procedure. But if we want to create this procedure, we should have the older versions, the earlier versions of 2.3, or you can go for Eclipse. Procedure is similar to scripted calculation view. Only one or two slighter differences are there that we are going to see now. What are the differences? We usually created scripted calculation view by selecting the package, right click calculation view. There we selected type as scripted, right? Then we created scripted calculation view. Now we are going to create the procedure. So before that, here in the catalog folder, checking the schema, like what schema should be used, what table should be used, just double checking. Now going to the content folder and go to the package and right click new and procedure. See, we are able to create procedure here and giving the name as PR1, the procedure name and some description. And if you click finish, you can see here this is the procedure screen. Begin end. You have script view directly with begin end, but if you go to scripted now we are in the scripted calculation view because we are going to compare procedure and scripted calculation view. But in this scripted calculation view, you have semantics and script view, but in procedure you don't have the nodes like this scenario, right? This scenario, semantics, script view, you don't have this nodes in procedure. Directly this script view is open and see directly script view. You can see this is a script view and you have begin end. And also another important difference is you have where out in scripted calculation view as a default table, as a default output table. But here we don't have in procedure such kind of default output table. That is another difference. So one difference is in scripted calculation view, we have semantic script view And if you click script view, then we are able to see begin end. And then where out is another default table in scripted calculation view, but in procedure, directly script view is opened and there is no where out. And also you can look at here, columns is the folder where we created the columns, right? Output columns in scripted calculation view. So we selected the columns, right click, and we added the columns. We added the columns. And whatever columns we want to display, we just right click and we added the columns. That is in scripted calculation. Now in procedure, you don't have any where out here. You can give any name here. You can give any name. You are free to give any kind of output table here, like iTab or iTab1. We are free to give any kind of internal table here. But if you see the right side, whatever internal table has named here or given here, and whatever columns you mentioned here, like scripted calculation view, there you have columns folder. But here, if you look at the right side in the output pan, you have the output parameters. But only the folder name is different, but everything is same. There you have columns, here you have output parameters. But input parameters here also same, there also same. You don't need to worry for that. Now, one thing, if you remember, in scripted calculation view, where underscore out is the default output table. Whatever columns we wanted to display there, we displayed in the last select, and before that we write n number of selects. So it is fixed that where underscore out is the final table. Directly in the columns folder, we use to mention only the columns name, because where underscore out is the default table. But in procedure, we will mention not only the columns, final table columns, we also should mention the internal table, final internal table. That is only the difference. See, here the name means your final output table. If you give iTab, you should mention iTab there. Whatever final table you give, that should be mentioned here. That is only the difference. But in scripted calculation, why don't we give this final table name? Because it's the default one. We should not change that. So system knows that is the default one, so you don't need to mention. But here, system doesn't know which is the final internal table. It's not defaulted one. So we should give that table. That is only the difference. Rest all are different. Rest all are same. Rest all are same. So first difference is in scripted calculation view, we have semantics and script view. Here you don't have that, and it is directly open script view. That is the first difference. Second difference is in scripted calculation view, where underscore out is the final table and it should not be changed. But here you don't have such kind of internal tables. You can name anything. And the third one is, there you have columns, here you have output parameters. There you mention also, in the output parameters, we mention also the final table. That's it. Now, if you save and activate, we can save and activate now the last step. Let's see that. So activation successful. Now anyone can tell me whether it is a scripted calculation view or a procedure or a decision table. if it is a scripted calculation view or a procedure or a decision table, where can we see all these things? In which folder we can see all these things? If it exactly specific schema, which folder?
Procedure.
In the procedure folder, right? In the specific schema, in the procedure folder, we are able to see the decision table, scripted calculation view, procedure, all these things under procedure folder with package name forward slash. If it is a procedure, procedure, scripted calculation view, scripted calculation view, decision table, decision table. We are able to see all those things there. So let's see now. So we have created PR1 as a procedure now, and whatever procedure PR1 is created, that can be found in the specific schema under procedure folder with package. Here Viasys 92P is the package, remember that, and PR1 is the procedure. And also we know that when we test procedure or scripted calculation view, we should pass the default argument, either question mark or null, to display the output table. If you have any input parameter, of course we should pass input first. So input parameter value, comma null or question mark. So this is what the procedure creation. You don't have any difference with scripted calculation view, which we already have discussed. So whatever scripted calculation view we have done, it's the same as procedure. Only these are the minor changes. So once we create procedure, defaultly script view is enabled, and here we don't have any var out. You can give any name, but only thing is in the output parameters, we should also mention the output table name, final table name along with column name. Rest all are same. There is no difference at all. Okay, now what I wanted to show you is, now my question for you guys, as part of bottom-up approach, we have created external view on top of HANA modeling views, and we were able to use it in a ABAP program or a OData or a smart form, wherever it is needed, like a select statement. But now another bottom-up approach is database procedure proxy. So where do we create database procedure proxy? In which perspective do we create database procedure proxy? This is my question. Is my question clear? My question is, where do we create database procedure proxy? Which perspective?
ABAP.
ABAP perspective, yes. So ABAP perspective. So let us go to window perspective, open perspective, other ABAP perspective. And we are in the ABAP perspective. We are opening our system. While opening the system, because we added the system along with user ID, we just need to give the password, whether it is any perspective in HANA Studio or Eclipse. If you find the difference with GUI, in SAP GUI, while adding the system, whether it is development, quality, production, we just give the system details like application server, instance number, system ID. While adding, we just give the system details, but while logging, we give the user ID password every time. But in HANA Studio or Eclipse, while adding the system itself, we give user ID password, and while logging again, you just give the password because user is already there. And whether you choose local object or whether we choose any custom package, you select right click, new, other ABAP repository. We created external view by selecting this dictionary view and selecting this external view option. But Database procedure proxy is created by selecting this. Database procedure proxy is selected by selecting this. Now, if you click next, we give the name of the database procedure proxy. Of course, we should give it with YRZ. You can give any name as per your naming convention or anything. Let's say if you give something like this. This is the description. One thing you can understand here is whatever name you have given for this database procedure proxy, here there is a parameter type interface is automatically defaulted, like automatically defaulted with prefix ZIF underscore and whatever name we have given here. Whatever name we have given for database procedure proxy and prefix ZIF underscore and with this name it is automatically proposed. But if you want you can keep it, otherwise you can change it. Here, what is here? HANA procedure. What do we have to give here? Anyone? Here in HANA procedure, what do we give here? We give the procedure name which was created. And also you can see here it is always should be given package name dot object name. You already know when we created external view, we have given package name dot modeling view, and we also understood these database objects, package name or view names are case sensitive. So we should mind that. We should remember that. The package name and the view name, these are all case sensitive. And we should give package name dot procedure name. But unfortunately, in this system, we have not created any procedure. We cannot continue here. Even we can't give scripted calculation view, even though it is similar to procedure, right? As for that is a scripted calculation view only you cannot give. Only you should give procedures here. But if you give the procedure and if you click next finish, your database procedure proxy is created, which can be used in the ABAP layer. Now let's go back. So now once the procedure is created and the package is Oasis 92P here and the procedure is PR1 here, and if you look at PR1 is in uppercase and Oasis 92P is in lowercase, because when we create database procedure proxy, we should give the package name dot procedure name. That we should understand. Now we are going to the ABAP perspective in HANA Studio or Eclipse. So to go to the ABAP perspective, you have two options, right? Window perspective, open perspective, or we click ABAP there. Now we are going to the package. We are in the ABAP perspective now. We are going to the package. And we created external view before, and now we select the package, right click new, other ABAP repository and dictionary. We are selecting the database procedure proxy. So database procedure proxy is created now with YRZ, because whatever we do in ABAP perspective, it should be started with YRZ. And if you give some description and whatever name we give here, again right click new, other ABAP repository. Under dictionary, choose the database procedure proxy. Now select ZOAS, whatever name we want, we do that. Then automatically this parameter type is defaulted. Now if you want, you can change this name. It is defaulted with ZIF underscore procedure name. And now it can be seen in SC24. This parameter type interface can be seen in SC24 as an interface. Now you give the description of, and you can also see here it's the database procedure proxy and new database procedure proxy. Whatever this name ZOASPR2 is database procedure proxy. And now in the HANA procedure, we give package name oasis92p dot, and of course the procedure name PR1. PR1 is the procedure which we created in this system. Whether it is external view, whether it is a database procedure proxy, we should mention here package name dot, modeling view name if it is external view, procedure name if it is database procedure proxy. And we should give some description, because description is mandatory. You can see the star there. Otherwise, until and unless we give, this next button is not enabled. So now we enabled. If we click next, and because we are creating it under package, so you should use and finish. But one thing you understand, in external view, when you used a modeling view which were not mapped to ABAP layer, we were not able to create external view. But here, see, there are two errors we got. As soon as we created database procedure proxy, it allowed us to create database procedure proxy. But in case of external view, when we used unmapped ABAP data types like varchar, it didn't allow to create even external view. In the beginning itself, it gave error. But here, it allowed us to create database procedure proxy, but we got the error. So what are these errors? Why these errors are appeared? Anyone can guess by looking here. See, these are the errors. What are these errors?
Because of data type varchar.
Yes. So even before what we discussed, right? External view is created on modeling view, which is created on table, which has some data types varchar, which is not mapped to ABAP data type. So there is no option there, because only option is you should change in the table. Otherwise, you don't have option. Even that time we discussed, right? This can be achieved through database procedure proxy without changing anything on the table. Now here also, whatever procedure PR1 was created on top of a table, which has varchar data type, but varchar data type is not mapped to any ABAP data type. So now we are in the HANA modeling perspective. We opened the procedure, we used Oasis schema, and Marcy is the table. So if you look at Oasis schema and Marcy is table, whatever fields we used, Matner or WERKS, they are varchar data types. They have varchar data types. So obviously we don't change anything here in the table level. See, now we are in the catalog folder in the Oasis schema, and we are opening the table Marcy. And of course in Marcy, these two fields are varchar, but we don't change anything here. We don't change anything here. Right? If you change here, then there is no difference for external view and this one. But what we do here is, in the procedure, in the output columns, here instead of varchar, we use ABAP mapped data type, nvarchar, which is mapped to char. Right? Same thing we did even scripted calculation view. Same thing we did even scripted calculation view. Now we use nvarchar and we click OK. And now the procedure is created with the mapped data types, ABAP mapped data types. Now we are going back, and because in the package it is already there in the database procedure proxy. Now just click synchronize button. Once you click synchronize button, see your changed data types are reflected and we don't have errors, and we are activating now, and our database procedure proxy is created now. And remember, the name of database procedure proxy is ZOASPR12, and also the interface ZIF underscore ZOASPR12. Now going to the SAP system and SAP application through the GUI, and here we can see how to use the database procedure proxy. And before that, if you go to SC24, we are able to see that parameter type interface ZIF underscore, and if you want to see, this is the ZIF underscore ZOSPR12. Now in the types we have only var out, because here you don't see any methods or any code. Only in the types we see whatever input or output parameters we declared. Of course we cannot change this anything, we can't change. But now if you go to SC38, however we use an external view like a normal select in a program or a smart form or wherever we need it, we can also use this database procedure proxy. So now we are going to create a ABAP program, and we are declaring some types declaration to display the output, and we have declared one internal table to display the output table. Now we are using our database procedure proxy name ZOASPR12 is our database procedure proxy name, and however we call function module like call function, however we call a method like call method, similarly we call database procedure proxy like call. This is where out is the output parameter. Call database procedure ZOASPR12. We have only output table here, right? Importing VAR OET we have give. If you have given ITAB, you can give ITAB. If you created input parameters like we did in the scripted calculation view, we can write exporting and call. Now see, it is giving the data, but honestly speaking, this is the table which was created directly in the database, which is not there in ABAP layer, and also the data is in the database, not in ABAP layer, and also procedure created in the modeling perspective directly in the database. Now we are using that procedure in ABAP layer, and we are able to display the data in ABAP layer. In case if you create any input parameter like we did in the scripted calculation view, you can also call it in the exporting here. All right, if you create input parameter here, and you can get that input parameter here, and same can be called using exporting parameter. So this is what the database procedure proxy creation. So I will send you the today video along with this video, so you can have a look. So I can say we completed bottom-up approach. So, but anyway, bottom-up approach is very rarely used now, until and unless it is a sidecar or secondary database. But still, if some landscapes are sidecar or secondary database, you can use this bottom-up approach. But the basic thumb rule here is, if the schema and if the table is directly in the database, if it is not there in the ABAP layer, then we go for this bottom-up approach. For example, you have a table directly in the schema in the catalog folder in HANA modeling perspective. But if you want to use that data in ABAP layer, right, then you go for bottom-up approach. Or else, if your landscapes are sidecar or secondary databases, means the same thing. So then you go for database procedure first. So between these two, you can decide what you wanted to use, but you have a limitation to use external view. When you use external view, you should make sure that it has the ABAP mapped data type. But here you don't have the limitation. Okay, but the very, very important thing is AMDP and CDS view. These are very, very important things. We use mostly in real time 95% these, 90% these only, because now most are main core or primary database. So we use these when HANA is a main core or primary databases, means the tables and data, right, both are available in S11 as well as in database. So first of all, let me recollect you what is top-down approach or main core or primary database. You know, when we have any SAP system, whatever data we write here, if we read the same data, then we call HANA is a main core or primary database. So whatever data we are writing here, we are reading the same data. So we have the tables and data exist here as well as here, right? So if we write and read the data in the same system or same database, then we call HANA is main core or primary database. So you no need to break your head to understand whether it is a main core or primary database. If you are able to see your tables in S11 along with data, then it is a main core or primary database. We also understood if the tables are available, why can't I use normal selects in ABAP program or a smart form or a workflow itself? But if you do that, each select goes to the database and come back to the application server, right? 60% of time is consuming due to heavy traffic between application server and database server. So that is the reason we should use push down approach. We push all the logic to the DB layer. So for that, in this case, we use top-down approach. Top-down means we create AMDP and CDS views in the ABAP layer, but execution happens in the database. So how we create these in the ABAP layer, but how execution happens in the database, that we will discuss. How we create, where we create, how execution happens in the database, how it is a push-down approach. So we will discuss. So we are going to start AMDP. AMDP is completely like a local class. If you don't know local class, you can't understand AMDP. If you don't know local class, even we discuss 1 month AMDP, you cannot understand anything. So AMDP is completely like a local class. So AMDP means ABAP managed database procedure. ABAP managed database procedure. So we create it in the ABAP layer, but execution happens in the database. It's managed by ABAP, but it's actually a database procedure. That's the meaning of AMDP. So when a class becomes AMDP, because every AMDP is a class, but every class cannot be AMDP. When a class becomes an AMDP, that we need to understand. So for that, yes, you need to know OOPS, especially local class creation. Okay. So tomorrow I will start freshly the AMDP and before that some OOPS. So our class is 7 to 8, but today it is delayed because of some reason. So from tomorrow I will send you the link even before 7, but class is started exactly at 7 or 7:05. Okay, if everyone is there, I will start at 7. Otherwise, I just wait for some minutes. Okay, but very very important, very very important. Okay, I will also give assignments to you on this topic. Okay, so yeah, any questions till here? Is it clear or any questions? Can I get responses in the chat box?
Do in the interview whether they will ask with respect to external views and the procedures, because it is out.
Yeah, it's not like outdated. Okay, Yeah, they because it depending upon your situation, right? If the table, if you want to go for bottom up approach because of tables and data exist in database, then yes, you go for external view and database procedure proxy. Yes, it is asked. Even everywhere it is asked. Okay. So I don't know. Funny, someone is asking, is it? Yeah, we started ABAP perspective. We started ABAP and HANA, and we completed external view and database procedure proxy. Okay. The, so I don't know. You are from which batch?
Sir, I am from 930 batch, sir. There we got data provisioning and all.
Okay.
But
Yes.
after the completion of data provisioning due to some office timings mismatch, I wanted to come to 7 o'clock batch in the morning. So this is my first class in the morning.
Okay. Actually, we started ABAP and HANA, and we completed external view and database process. Database process proxy we just completed. We completed this. Okay. If you want, if you want to attend again these two topics in the morning batch, you need to wait because after this we start AMDP, CDS views, S4 HANA, right? Then again OData, Theory Launchpad, UI5 Theory Development, UI5 Theory Development. Then we start catalog like HANA SQL, then data provisioning, then HANA modeling, new OpenSQL, HANA migration, new OpenSQL.
Oh,
After that,
I
I started ABAP and
after
HANA.
completion of these left topics, you will tell the right topics.
Yes, this is our sequence. Okay,
Okay.
we already started ABAP and HANA and we completed external view and database procedure.
Sir,
Coming to the night, coming to the night batch, HANA modeling is completed, and today we will start HANA migration, new OpenSQL. Anyway, in the night batch, it will be started the new batch on 2nd January. 2nd January, new batch will be started in the night, and there the topics will be started like this. Same here, same here.
okay.
If you want, you can continue there. Okay.
Okay. So ఇప్పుడు సార్ ఇది ఎన్నో క్లాస్ సార్ ఇక్కడ?
This is a sixth class, I guess. Sixth class
Okay.
in ABAP. Okay. Okay, guys. Like I told you, 8 a.m. batch is suspended. Okay. So I already informed you 8 a.m. batch is no more. Okay. Okay. Any questions, guys? Okay. So from tomorrow, don't miss any classes. Very, very important. Okay.
Sir,
Thank you. Yeah.
sir, the completed above 3 topics. Can I have those videos, sir? ABAP and HANA external view, database
Yeah.
procedure.
Ask YSS. YSS send these videos. Okay. From
Okay.
today only. I ask. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day.